of the Plymouth Board of Education to order at 7:01 p.m. Please join us to pledge the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, I need to entertain a motion to adopt the agenda as presented.
So moved.
Second.
So, Greg and Dick. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Item number 3, approval of the minutes. I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of the Plymouth Board of Education held on February 14th, 2024.
So moved. Second.
Was that Dick?
Yeah.
Dick and then Greg. Okay, backwards.
Who else?
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Item number 4, presentation from Terryville High School.
Ms. Heard's here tonight.
Yeah.
Our students are being shy, but they'll come up behind me in a moment. Good evening. On behalf of Mr. Holtz and myself, we would like to thank the board for your continued support and for the opportunity to highlight some exciting things happening at the high school. I thank you again for investing in revamping our career center and hiring a career counselor, Mrs. Glazer. Mrs. Glazer is here this evening with some student representatives, and they're going to share with you how the Career Center has had a positive impact on them. And with that, I will turn it over to Alyssa Glazer.
Good evening. Thank you, Jess. First, I would like to thank the board for supporting the development of the Career Center at THS. I'm excited to be here tonight to share with you some of our new programming. Over the past school year, we've been able to implement a variety of experiences through the Career Center. We've had, behind you on the screen, we've had lots of college visits, career exploration trips, individual career counseling assistance with college applications, and a host of work readiness skills, including resume writing and interviewing. One of our big projects was to develop the Career Exploration Capstone, better known as CEC, in collaboration with the English department and the administration. And this is a course that all juniors will take and will span into their senior year. We held this as a pilot course last year, and as you'll hear from some of our students tonight, this class really gives students the opportunity to research their future plans and career choices with support from the Career Center, the teachers, and our community partners. This was a trip that we did last week to an insurance company. And this is just a slide highlighting our career exploration capstone programming. These are a couple pictures from our mock interviews. Here are some of our college visits that we've done. A list of different career exploration trips that we've done. One of our yard goods trip. Career Center presentations and speakers. So in addition to going on trips, we often have speakers and presentations in the Career Center, and here are some that we've had and that are scheduled in the upcoming months. So without further ado, we have a wonderful group of students here tonight. Each student has prepared a slide that highlights all of the opportunities they've participated in through the Career Center, but they each will share their own personal experience that has been most impactful. And first up, we have Anna Matulis.
Hi, my name is Anna Matulis. I'm a current senior here at Terryville High School. Ever since Ms. Glazer started working as a career counselor at THS, I have received a lot of guidance with figuring out the plans for my future. She has helped me with many different informational opportunities, which include interviews, job shadows, college visits, and much more. When I first met Ms. Glazer, I had a plan to go to cosmetology school to become a hairdresser, but that plan very quickly changed when she told me about occupational therapy. This opened my eyes to a whole different career that I have never even known about. Soon after learning about this profession, she guided me by setting up multiple different interviews with OTs and students going to school for occupational therapy. Overall, this led me to decide to attend the University of Hartford for occupational therapy. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Mark Lucier. I'm a senior here at Terryville High School. I'm really interested in communications and journalism. So when I was coming into my junior year, I was still trying to figure out what I wanted to do in this world. And the opportunities that the Career Center provided me were job shadows, were things like interviews and college visits and other kinds of experiences. A couple of them, I got to job shadow Matt Finkel, the NBC 30 sports broadcaster. This was a great way for me to really, see what the line of work that I want to go into. It's a great way to immerse yourself and really be a part of this kind of the career that you're looking into. There were countless opportunities for me, and I really can't thank Ms. Glazer enough because she has given me the opportunity to maximize my potential and properly plan for my future. So thank you.
Good evening, and my name is Adriana Hawes, and I am a senior at Terryville High School. My school's Career Center has been instrumental in shaping my college journey. I have taken some college trips, such as the University of New Haven, Tunxus Community College, and CCSU. Taking these trips has helped me gain valuable insight into many different college career paths. The Career Center has also given me an opportunity to job shadow at Waterbury Hospital, providing me with a real-world experience into my chosen career field. Additionally, Mrs. Glazer has been so incredibly supportive to me when I was changing my major back and forth 15 times between nursing and social work, but also when I was indecisive of which college I wanted to attend. She has set up multiple Google Meets with the social work program director at Southern to give me a view into the world of social work. Through all these experiences, I am now officially committed to University of New Haven, majoring in nursing, and I wouldn't have done it without the help of my Career Center.
Hi, my name's Alexa Harnish. I plan on going to Oxford Academy of Hair Design and will be taking their aesthetics program after touring multiple schools, including some four-year colleges through the Career Center. I've decided I want to pursue a trade. We visited Oxford Academy last month, and I absolutely fell in love with the school. I realized how strongly I felt about choosing this route, and I will be attending in the fall. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Camilla Molina. I am currently a senior at Terryville High School, and I will be attending the University of Connecticut at Storrs, majoring in physiology and neurobiology. Thanks to Ms. Glazer, I realized that I most certainly wanted to go into the medical field, and sometimes plans don't go according to what you actually want, and it took a slight turn. Instead of just going to college, I will also be a part of the Army Reserve, and I could not have done it without Ms. Glazer. In doing so, I also had the opportunity to be part of the Career Exploration Capstone during my junior year, which allowed me to do job shadows at the American School for the Deaf and an audiologist at Bristol, who is also my brother's doctor. And in doing so, I also gained an internship with her. And again, I fell in love with what exactly I wanted to do. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Tiana Bilodeau. I will be attending Sacred Heart University in the fall, majoring in speech-language pathology. The Career Center has offered various opportunities, which I have gotten assistance with these past few years of figuring out my major for college, as well as applying to universities. My internship played a huge role when deciding what to do after high school. Taking on my internship at Plymouth Center School for Speech Pathology has taught me a lot about an everyday speech lesson, as well as planning beforehand. Mrs. Glazer gave me this opportunity by providing me with ways in which I can become more involved and exposed to my future career, and I'm so thankful for this opportunity that came along for my senior year. The Career Center also connected me with nonprofit organizations to give back to the community. I was selected as a member for the United Way Youth Board of West Central Connecticut. Since I have been attending meetings and events such as the Senior Citizen Prom, Give Back Day, and toy drives, I became more connected and involved with our community. This club gave me multiple experiences and the chance to meet others from schools close by. We all learn this through showing what living united looks like in our community. I'm appreciative of this program and all the opportunities and memories it left for me throughout my high school experience.
Good evening. My name is Tyler Violet, and I am a current senior here at Terryville High School. And I'm glad I'm able to share my experiences that I've had with the THS Career Center with you tonight. Ms. Glazer has led me in a direction where I'm confident in where I'm headed after high school. She's guided me with one-on-one career counseling, a selection of job shadows, and virtual interviews with college professionals. As Ms. Glazer has made me feel comfortable with my selection of pharmacy, I was assisted with my college essay and application, my resume and cover letter, and assistance with financial aid. As she made me feel secure with my decision to choose Salve Regina, the one thing I want you to take away from tonight is Ms. Glazer's ambition and desire to help her students. She goes above and beyond to assure her students with a future that they're safe and headed after high school. I'm confident that she and the THS Career Center will continue to support and benefit students for years to come and will provide students with lifetime skills and opportunities.
I'm Jacob Darrell, a senior at Terryville High School, and I'm planning on attending Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute for Aerospace Engineering. At first, I wanted to become a physicist, and Mrs. Glazer helped schedule interviews with an astrophysicist, Dr. Murphy, and theoretical physicist, Dr. Sakoyen. And I realized that though Dr. Sakoyen had told me that it's actually quite difficult to get a career as a physicist, and it kind of narrows yourself in, especially if you have a physics major. So this made me rethink my career choice a little bit, and I kind of wanted to go into aerospace engineering, which is similar, but there's a lot more job opportunities available, especially in Connecticut. And Mrs. Glazer had career trips to Pratt & Whitney and Sikorsky, both of which are aerospace manufacturers. And this reinforced the decision that I had that I wanted to become an aerospace engineer in the future.
Good evening. My name is Hannah Foster, a current senior here at Terryville High School. After high school, I am planning on attending Central Connecticut State University, majoring in education. Now, experiencing my senior year, Ms. Glazer's encouragement and guidance have put me in such a comfortable position. She supported my resume building, college decision, and more. I credit my confidence in pursuing secondary English education all to her. Her passion for her job has influenced me to be the same as an educator. Thank you.
So there's a lot going on at the high school beyond this, and our student reps will touch on those exciting things. But the Career Center, as you can see, is like the hub of our school. Behind me, I have 9. Are we all seniors? Seniors. And you heard that it's March 13th, and they're pretty confident in their decisions for where they're going to go when they leave the walls of Terryville High School. And the Career Center and the CEC course, something that they attended and were enrolled in, were just such a major part of that. We're so proud of you guys and all of your peers who are off to exciting things next year. And we have our Career Center and your investment in that to thank for that. So thank you. Great job, guys.
Thank you. That was great to hear. What a wonderful program that they have there for them. Moving on to our student representatives. Jacob. Would you like to go first, Jacob?
All right. So the Terryville High School Academic Bowl had a tournament on Monday, February 26th, and it was an at-home game against Housatonic. Our A team beat Housatonic in both rounds, and the leading scorers were myself with 100 points and Nicholas Gwiz, who had 80 points. And the National Honor Society had an induction ceremony on Thursday, February 29th, and there were 9 new members inducted into the club. And just as a reminder about National Honor Society, they have organized various service projects to not only benefit the school district, but also the surrounding community as well. We've made bookmarks for Plymouth Center students. We've had a food drive for the Plymouth Community Food Pantry, and we've hosted tutoring services within the high school for students who need it. And on Wednesday, March 20th, we will be hosting a dodgeball tournament to support Action Against Hunger.
On March 22nd, from 6:30 to 7, multiple students will be competing against one another for the best homemade chili. Multiple people are able to come within the community to compete against the students, and there will be prizes for the winners, as well as a raffle that will be held there. On March 22nd, the SATs will begin. Many students have been preparing throughout the month for the SATs. There's been a SAT prep course that's been happening for the past month, where multiple students can go to the library and practice Desmos skills and other math programs that can help them on the SATs.
Thanks, Charlotte. Mark?
Hi, everybody. On March 12th, the Future Business Leaders of America went to a conference at Naugatuck Valley Community College. A bunch of FBLA students here at the high school had a great time, including myself. A lot of these events were based on financial literacy, preparing yourself for a career, and other things like that. Overall, a very informative day. Boys and girls basketball, both teams made the state tournament, which was very exciting. The boys hosted a game. They won that game here at the high school. That was a lot of fun to be there and witness that. And overall, a very successful year for both the boys and girls basketball team. In wrestling, 2 wrestlers here from the high school qualified for the state open and competed against some of the best wrestlers in the state, which is very impressive. So there's a lot of pride here for sports at the high school. We're very excited for our spring season, which has started this week. Baseball, conditioning for pitchers and catchers started this week, and then full team practice will start next week. Same thing with softball, conditioning, pitchers and catchers, and then full team reps next week. That's it.
Great. Thank you very much. As always, you are welcome to stay, but we understand if you need to go.
Thank you.
That brings us to item number 6, public comment. Please limit your speaking to 3 minutes. There should be a sign-up sheet at the podium as well to sign in.
My name is John Murphy, 385 Greystone Road, Terryville. I understand we're in budget season, and it just seems like a rite of passage, though. Every tax season, our taxes go up. And you aren't the sole contributors, but you're 26 million worth of contributors, and it makes it tough on the rest of the town to take care of roads and things like that we need to, infrastructure. We have a water pollution control issue that's going to be coming down the pike, and that's mandated by the DEP to the tune, last I heard, $15 million. Personally, I think you're a little top heavy in your administration. But it is what it is. I don't know if you know what the niche NICHE system is. It grades schools on their performance. And I'm a little taken back. In administration, I'm seeing a C minus. So take that for what it's worth. One thing on the budget, other than the salaries, that I would like to find out, what is NTHS electricity?
If you
$274,000.
would like to, you can.
So NTH, the way that is it's the electricity for this building,
Just this building?
just this building.
What are those solar panels sitting out there? Was that a bill of goods we got sold? I'm not trying to be facetious or anything like that. I'm just,
It's okay.
I don't-
He's answered the question. That's you can move
Oh,
on.
I would like to know what.
It's not a back and forth. You can make your comments.
Okay. All right. Well, next time I come up, I'd like to find out, what the solar panels are doing. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else for public comment?
Here, I stole it.
How stupid.
All right. Well, this is my first time doing one of these. I was actually a student here at Terryville High School myself.
Can you just state your name? Sorry.
Oh, sorry. My name's Aubrey.
Last name too.
Newberry. Sorry. Like I said, it's my first day.
That's
Time
okay.
doing it.
It's okay.
And a former student.
Yeah. Yep. Your favorite student. So I was just presented with the issue of it's called an advanced program here in town that's state funded, which I understand. They decided as of the end of the school they're closing down the program in which my daughter attends. Also learning this, it was a week ago when they decided this, and what am I supposed to do for school for Plymouth Center as a pre-K program for a kid? Because she's closed and enrollment is closed for next year. So that's what my main concern is right now.
Thank you.
That you're talking about the Head Start program?
Across from the police
That was
station.
across at the old Main Street School?
Yeah, actually, my old fourth grade classroom when I went.
Just for the record, we were not informed about that closure at all until they actually made the announcement to the parents, and the parents called us and told us about it. So we heard it at the same time.
Yeah, a week ago, actually, because the state came down and said they didn't meet the student criteria, meaning that they're supposed to have anywhere from 15 to 20 kids per class. Instead, they have 11, with it being a state-funded program. There's sliding scales and stuff like that. But again, my main concern is that Plymouth Center School pre-K program's already closed for next year. Am I supposed to have my kid go a whole year of no school because she didn't make the enrollment plan? So
unfortunately, that's something you have to take up with the state. It's not in our control.
Is there a way you can extend out the enrollment for Plymouth Center, or maybe have a talk to see if we could try to get at least some of the kids into it?
We certainly will look into that, but there will not be room for everyone.
Okay. Thank you.
Anyone else for public comment? Okay, seeing none, we will move on to item number 7.
Hold on, Karen.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh,
I do have an answer to that question.
all right.
Dan
Denise.
Gentile, 269 Mount Dover Road, Plymouth, Connecticut. The girl from the preschool came up and she had a discussion with her. And there was more people that needed it to get to that 15 families, but it was a dollar amount. It wasn't built on a sliding scale, so you're 100% right. It was the state of Connecticut that did not let it go forward because you had to have so many kids. And it's a shame. People were missing it by very little dollar amounts. And we have plenty of students children that need it, but they couldn't get it due to the fact of the set dollar amount by the state of Connecticut, so make a phone call to the state Department of Education, because they're the ones that mandate, and they should have did it on a sliding scale, and then they would have made their criteria. If they made a sliding scale of income for 2 family incomes versus one single family, then they would have had enough. There was enough people to go into it, but they didn't cut the money part of it.
Thank you, Danny. Anyone else before we move on? Okay. Item number 7, superintendent's update.
Good evening, everyone. At your seat, you have 2 small tokens of appreciation in recognition of Board of Education Appreciation Month. As most people know, members of our Board of Education are volunteers. You are here because you want to improve our school system and the learning experience for our kids. And so these 2 small gifts, one is a blanket, the other in that pink bag is a wind chime that was made by our transition students. It's a small thank you for all you do for our school community and our children. So thank you so much for all you do volunteering your time. Eli Terry Middle School will be hosting a social media awareness presentation on Tuesday, March 19th at 6 o'clock in the Eli Terry Library. State Police Officer James White will be informing parents about the current issues our students are facing and navigating through with their cell phones, social media, and the internet. And we invite all parents, no matter what age your children are, to come to that event to learn more about that, not just Eli Terry parents. Our Plymouth Center PTA is working closely with Ms. Loveland, our principal, and Corey Mazon, our literacy coach, to host the author from the children's book series Biscuit. To tie in the overall theme of Biscuit, and if you don't know, Biscuit is a dog. The students in the classroom all have the opportunity to read to Remy. And Remy is a therapy dog that's certified by Bright Spot Therapy Dogs. And in walking the school, I was absolutely amazed at the excitement, the motivation, and the engagement of the students to read to this dog. And what it has done, not only to the students, but the faculty and staff, has been amazing. And I can't thank the PTA, the administration, and the teachers enough for putting this on for our students. I would like to remind the Board of Education and the public of some important dates. Tomorrow evening, we'll be presenting our budget to the Plymouth Board of Finance at 7 o'clock in the community room at Town Hall. This is an important meeting because it helps the Board of Finance better understand our budget requests and also how much we need to maintain our current staffing and programs. Following that meeting on Thursday, April 18th at 6 p.m. in the community room at Town Hall, the Plymouth Board of Finance will present their budget recommendations and presentation to the Town Council, and that's followed by a public hearing. I want to just clarify that that second meeting on April 18th is at 6 o'clock and not 7 as I first reported. So there was my confusion in the timing of that. And as I have throughout the entire budget process, I encourage members of our school community to attend these meetings so there are no surprises with regard to our budget in our programs and our schools and where we fall in line with the town. Now that we've adjusted our clocks, it's time to discuss graduation, believe it or not. Barring any unforeseen circumstances, which would probably be meaning snow at this point in time, our last day of school is set for Wednesday, June 12th, but we are going to need to set our Terryville High School graduation for Tuesday, June 11th. The reason for that is because the after graduation event is scheduled for the 11th and the 12th is not available. And the purpose of that event is for after graduation. As we did last year, we're hoping to hold an outdoor graduation, but if the weather does not cooperate, that same evening we'll move the graduation ceremony indoors into our auditorium on June 11th. So that date is basically set moving forward. And finally, as a reminder, the school district will be closed for Good Friday on March 29th and for April break Monday, April 8th through Friday, April 12th. And that's all I have for this evening.
Thank you. Item number 8, new business. We have a motion item for our healthy food certification. All public school districts participating in the NSLP must submit the Healthy Food Certification Statement Addendum to Agreement for Child Nutrition Program ED 099 by July 1st, 2024 to certify whether or not all food items sold to students will or will not meet Connecticut nutritional standards. All right, we need a motion to implement the healthy food option.
So moved.
Pat, anyone for second?
Second.
Second for Greg. Any discussion on this? We do this every year.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I was just wondering, when I was reading through the, in the option, we can, if we approve this, we can still, the kids, when they have like the basketball game and stuff, they can sell their potato chips or?
I think that's under the next item.
Oh, is it? Okay,
under the
all right, I'll wait then.
exemptions.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, that question also gets brought up
Okay.
every year.
All right.
Well, I have a question on the fundraising, how they do the pies and stuff. Is that different because they're sold to the families and not directly to the students? Because I know that's something like the students bake the pies, and is that going to qualify as healthy food? Because those apple pies are fabulous.
So
they're healthy food. Let it go.
Fruit.
So technically, we shouldn't be selling those items in school for kids to consume in school.
Okay.
So usually the biggest culprit of that is the candy fundraisers, where the kids get the box of candy and then they're selling them to their peers, but we don't know that. Not that we're being televised right now for people to find that out, but that's usually the biggest culprit. The pies are usually going home and the kids aren't consuming them here, so we're good.
All right, anyone else for discussion on that one? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. All right, then we have our exemption below for food exemptions as indicated below. If the Board of Education or governing authority votes no for the healthy food option, which we didn't, so we don't need to worry about that. Then we wouldn't have to do the exemption. All right, and I'd like to entertain a motion to allow the food exemptions.
So moved.
Motion Greg, second. Second Dick. Any discussion on this one? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. And then finally, we have a beverage exemption. This one is fairly new, I think. I don't remember doing this one a lot. Yeah.
New for the last 2 years.
For the last 2 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right, so I would like to entertain a motion to allow for the beverage exemptions.
So moved.
Greg, second?
I'll second it.
Cindy? Any discussion on this one? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. All right, we have our 25-26 school year calendar that was in your packet. This is just an informational item. We will vote on this at the next meeting. If you see any glaring problems, please bring them to Brian's attention so that we can get an answer before our next meeting so we can vote on it, so that everybody is secure in when they will have their time off. It's always nice to know when you can plan vacations. Item C, we have a diversity plan that has also been in your packet. I hope you had a chance to look that over. But I would like to entertain a motion to approve the diversity plan as submitted.
I could give more of an explanation if you need to as well.
Yes, please.
Okay.
'Cause I'm confused.
During discussion.
That's
but
fine too.
okay.
No, I'll wait till discussion.
Okay. So did I have a motion?
So moved.
Okay, so motion Kelly, and do I have a second?
Second, I'll second.
Second Pat. Now we can go into discussion.
So there's a legislative requirement that all school districts in the state of Connecticut have to have an educator diversity plan in place to, for the State Board of Education. We have to submit it by March 15th. The interesting piece is we really didn't get guidance on how to create what the expectations were for this plan until recently. So as I spoke, I think it came up in the past that we were going to work with Ed Advance. Well, we actually teamed up with Ed Advance and a few neighboring schools to create our plan, so they're similar. And the plan's broken up into three parts with regard to recruitment, hiring, and selection of candidates, and then retention of candidates that that are possibly diverse in who's applying. And so every school has to have a plan that we have to submit and has to be accepted by the State Department of Education.
I just have a quick question because the date for the timeline was like things will be done by July 2024. So it's just moving forward annually. You'll just go in and update, make any changes as
So I put that
things come up.
I put that date on there to give us time to get these things going. I'm hoping they accept the date of July 2024 and that it doesn't have to be immediate. But when this is being turned in the 15th of March, I think they're expecting this to be underway. And I tried to put a limited number of goals that we would be working on with this. Basically, when we're recruiting, we'll go to different job fairs that are around that we could find all diverse groups at. And then when we hire, we look at all candidates. And then when we retain, we'll work with everyone to make sure that they have kind of a partner teacher to work with. This isn't very different than what we do for any teacher. And I want to be clear that we are going to hire the most qualified teachers no matter what their race, religion, anything is. That does not impact our hiring in any way, shape, or form. This is a plan that we had to put in writing. But the reality is we hire the best candidates to work with our kids. And so this plan isn't very different than anything else we've already done or do right now.
We've always been an equal opportunity employer.
Absolutely.
If I'm correct.
Yeah.
So this is just giving you guys a little more work. You know,
Just a formality, really.
I looked at it, I thought it was ridiculous, but that's just me. You go to a job fair and you say, I talked to Susie Sanchez, minority female or something about an art job. We have to mark it down. Whatever. I mean, maybe that's why we can't get things done in this state because we're doing things like that. But I'll go along with the plan. I guess we have no choice.
It is nice to encourage districts to take seriously the hiring of teachers and school staff that looks like their students. So it is important, especially in some bigger districts, that they make that effort to really have students and have adults within their buildings that students can relate to in different ways. So, and I understand that in some ways we don't see that as much here, but it is pretty important, and it's a statewide thing. So it's
Yeah, I agree.
we all have to
I agree with that, Madam Chairman. Years ago, Felix Barkowski, when he was the chairman of the board, he was trying to bring in people like that, and we had absolutely no luck.
Things are changing, though. It's encouraging.
Well,
Things are
I hope
changing.
things are changing.
Yeah.
And I hope they're changing for the better.
Yeah.
And I agree with the superintendent that we are going to hire the best qualified that we can.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Any other discussion on the diversity plan? All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Okay, I hope you also had a chance to check out our request about utilizing an estimated $338,921.34. Doesn't really sound like an estimate, but okay. From the sinking fund for the following: building security cameras at $182,586.34. Terryville High School auditorium lighting, $51,335. Air quality study plan and HVAC study plan, $75,000. Replace leaking hot water coil at Terryville High School, $15,000. And install fencing at Plymouth Center School, $15,000 as well, which brings us to that number. Any monies not used from this allocation will be returned to the sinking fund upon completion of the project. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
That was Dick. And second?
Second.
Pat. And now we can have a discussion.
So if there's a correction I have to make.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. There's a correction, and if you like, I can go through each one of these with Matt to kind of explain what's going on in each of these areas. The correction comes to the air quality study plan and the HVAC study plan. It's actually $100,000. We originally put forward $75,000, and the Board of Finance was concerned that wouldn't be enough to put those plans together, and so they approved $100,000, knowing whatever the difference was would go back into the sinking fund. And those two studies and those two plans are also unfunded mandates that we have from the state that we have to have done. So that's not an option. And with those plans and those studies, we're on the hook for getting those plans and studies done with the full cost. But any work that needs to be done out of it, we're going to probably fall in the range where we will be reimbursed probably around 70% for whatever work has to be done. So that was the air quality and study plans, and for the HVAC as well, that's required. With the building security camera system, this is something we brought to the board at the last meeting or a couple meetings ago. And that's that sparked us to go to get that money for these projects in the sinking fund. That project, originally, we kind of estimated at $250,000 and change. But when we got our quotes, it was less than that. Now we get reimbursed 71.3%
or something like that.
Of that money. So with the $182,586 that we're taking from the sinking fund, we're really only using $52,000 and change of that. The other $130,000 we'll get back from the state, but we have to pay for the project first when it's complete. Then we'll get the $130,000 back and put it back in the sinking fund. And that was the understanding. And that gives us brand new security cameras, all state of the art in each of our buildings. With the high school auditorium lighting, we had, working with Jim Mazon, our director of facilities, with the house lights. There are approximately 80 house lights in the auditorium. 22 were working at last count. The feeling about the house lights is that when they built the school, they put all the lights in at the same time. They all have the same life expectancy, and so they're all going out at around this time. That's working with our electrician. That was what our electrician felt. The bigger issue that we're having is the spotlights. We have 13 spotlights that face the stage. Those 13 spotlights are not working. They believe it's the socket that needs to be replaced on the spotlights. The problem is they don't make those spotlights anymore because now everything's LED. So we're trying to get the sockets to replace the sockets. If we can, we're going to move forward with that. If we can't, we're going to have to replace the spotlights with the LEDs. Right now, we're at the point where we had a National Honor Society induction ceremony in our auditorium. It's very, very dark with one spotlight working out of the 13. And it's really to the point where it's almost unsafe. And so that's kind of where we are with that. And the crazy part about the spotlights is we replace the bulbs. They work for 2 days. Bulbs go out, but the bulb is not burnt out. So there's something not right. We've taken them down. We have professionals looking at them. And so that's why we have that money for the auditorium lighting. And then whatever we don't use will go back. The replacing the leaking hot water coil at Terryville High School, that is down.
It's located right behind over here.
And we had one near the gym earlier. We have an actual quote for that. The issue with that quote is we have to add $2,000 because there's a sprinkler head that's right in front of the job, and that has to be removed first, fix it, and then put back into place. And so that's why that went up. And then with regard to installing the fence at Plymouth Center, we were looking to install a fence down the right-hand side of the building. So you have the basketball court that's lower. we were going to do a fence all the way across due to the fact that dogs from the neighborhood on that right-hand side are coming onto school grounds during school time, and it's a safety issue for our students. And so we were looking to install a 4-foot fence about 300 feet down that side to stop the dogs from coming over. The Board of Finance felt very strongly and requested that we look at putting up a 6-foot fence instead of a 4-foot fence. There was a recommendation of fencing in the whole area, so that was the conversation. And we got a price from an installer of about $30 a foot of 4-foot chain link fence, and I think it's $35 for a 6-foot. Am I correct in that? And so we are looking to put that in. Additionally, we have worked with the police department and our SRO to have the police go down that neighborhood and speak to the neighbors about their dogs and them coming on to school grounds and their responsibility as a dog owner with their pets. So we are working with them, but we felt that the fence was a safety issue and concern. So those are the projects, the 5 projects we're looking at. So that $338,921 is sitting in our non-lapsing or sinking fund, and that is money that's been put aside over the years for projects such as this. And again, there's going to be a reimbursement of $130,000 to that number. So we're talking approximately $200,000 is what we need for those projects.
And just so everyone knows, this, they've already sat down with the Board of Finance, and this has already been discussed, and they are.
This is actually the last step before we can start.
They were very helpful, and
They were
Yes.
very, very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Pat was there. So.
Yeah. So nice
Brian,
to hear.
does this upgrade the computer system too for the cameras?
It makes everything cloud-based.
Yeah, so the project would upgrade all of the cameras and the blind spots that we currently have, so there would be some addition. But the system would then be cloud-based so that it can be accessed from anywhere. So the police department would have the same access as our administrators, so that if there's an event here at the high school, they would be able to log into the system and actually see what's going on if there was something they needed to see. So our system is 10 plus years old, and the technology is well behind where it should be. So,
And with the reimbursement of 71.3% makes a lot of sense to do it. So
We're doing it, let's do it right.
for the board's knowledge, I can tell you that the sinking fund balance as of June 30th, 2023 was $676,975.71. So the money is absolutely there. And the plan is that as we complete the projects, I would report back to the Board of Finance and return whatever allocation wasn't used.
Excellent. All right, anything else before we take a roll call? Okay. Roll call vote, Mr. Showers.
Yes.
Ms. Tilton.
Yes.
Mr. Foote.
Yes.
Mrs. Candrea Florenciani.
Yes.
Mr. Perugino.
Yes.
Mr. Zabuska.
Yes.
And myself votes yes. So that is 7 yeses and 2 that will be abstentions. Motion carries. All right, we are on to item number 9, Business Manager's Report and Personnel Report.
Okay, so from the business office, we are 108 days, calendar days from June 30th. So we're ramping up, preparing for the end of the year. So we're looking at all of our accounts and trying to get as much encumbered as we can so we can see where we're going to finish the year. Now that we're entering into April, this is really the time to really start looking at that. We already started to talk about the security camera upgrade project. I do want to let the board know that we have selected a vendor. It is Nationwide Security Corporation, working with the technology. That's a selected group with the technology department and the business office. And the selection was made based on price, the company's full understanding of the project, and past performance history and experience with some of our folks in the technology department. So we're hoping to be underway very soon. Your vote tonight was kind of the last step before we can go ahead and say, let's go. We are going to address the buildings in the following order. We're going to start with here at Terryville High School. Then we're going to go to Eli Terry Junior Middle, Plymouth Center School, and then finally Fisher Elementary. And we are targeting a completion date for the project to coincide with the beginning of the next school year so that it would be up and going when the students arrive in the fall. The other thing I want to touch on this evening is we do have one non-certified work agreement that we need to complete before the end of the school year. And that is with the custodial and maintenance department, which is an operating department work agreement. So I'm really looking for some procedural direction from this board. Would you like to bring the negotiations committee together to go over the work agreement before Brian and I meet with the members of the group? Or should Brian and I just meet with the group and bring you the results is really kind of the two options here. So I just look to the board for which way you'd like to go.
How does everybody feel about that?
I trust Brian and Matt.
I just want to see the agreement, that's all.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all I have
Well,
to
we
see.
would usually see it before we vote on it anyway, so.
I want to see it.
You want to see the current agreement?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we could send it out to the
Sure,
board.
we'll send it out to everybody at the board, sure.
Yeah. Thank
Okay.
you.
So everybody's good with Matt and Brian taking care of that? Okay. Great.
So with that, I open it to, are there any questions regarding the monthly report that I sent out or the monthly financial budget report that you got?
You're looking at me, aren't you?
I am. I just look down this way because I know they typically come from over here.
No, I just like the way the budget is. I mean, I see we're moving things around. It's really starting to zero things out. And, you know, we're not freezing anything as of yet.
We are not freezing anything as of yet.
As of yet.
As of yet, correct.
And the numbers look very good, Matt. I'm happy with them. I'll tell you that. I think you're doing a great job, and I think we're all doing a great job with it. But, you know, there are expenses that we have to do, and we're going to do them. So I'm just happy with what I see.
Thank you. With that, Karen, it's back to you.
Anything to note on the
No.
personnel report? No? All right. Number 10, public comment again. Please come to the podium, put your name.
Hi everyone, Erica LaVoy, 2 Magnolia Lane. On a positive note, I do want to say that, out of the 9 seniors that spoke tonight, I personally know Adriana. She's coached my daughter, who's no easy feat, I'm sure you'll say. That was really nice to see those students come forward and talk about what their plans are, especially because I think out of the 9 of them, I know that if 7 of them actually come back either to our school system or to our community, they will personally deal with my children, which is awesome. I love that. So I think that whoever deserves to have a pat on the back there, you know, especially the students and the teachers as well, and their resource counselors, I think that's great. So, you know, anything that usually has plan on the end of it or fund or act or something like that, you know, when it has to do with government, usually involves money. So my question is in regard to the diversity plan act, whatever it is, it's a mandate, obviously, that I'm assuming was unfunded by the state. Maybe it was funded. Either way, I'd like to know what it's costing us, how much money is coming from us personally as the taxpayers, since it's going to affect us personally. Do we get a copy of ours? Because I think that from what I was able to just sit and read by Googling on our state website, we should have a copy to this plan already, because there should be one already in existence. So I guess this mandate happened in July of 2023. So we've had quite some time to discuss this, you all have as a board, and obviously to bring it up at a meeting for all of us to know about, that there was something that needed to be changed within our district. You actually have until tomorrow to get your plan submitted before it has to be reviewed by somebody. So I am very much so a procrastinator, so I understand completely how we're waiting until last minute for a decision to be made on this. And while I appreciate the transparency, I wish we knew more about it, because I don't really know that there's anything that we could have done about it. But at the same time, like, again, these are the people that you're hiring to work with our kids. So I just want to, or I would prefer to know more about that, or if there is access to it online where we can find that. Thank you.
Hey, everyone. I'm just here to say.
State your name, please.
Oh, Roxanne Perugino, 82 Allen Street. I'm here just to come up here and say congratulations. I am probably one of the few, I think, that thinks that you did a wonderful job on the budget. As far as I'm concerned, when I look around everywhere else, everybody's asking for 5, 6, 7, 8%. I mean, our cost of living around here has gone up much more than what we're asking basically for our kids. And I hope that the council will support it also. And I think if people really want to know where the money's going, I think they need to understand what our mandates are and what our contract obligations are. I think, if you're really interested, if people are really interested, they really need to take a deep dive into those items. The only other comment I have is, it wasn't brought up tonight, but it was $250,000 of ARPA funds for an irrigation system. I really believe that's a waste, because it may end up costing you more than that. And then I want to know, the only question I would have is, who's responsible for the upkeep and all the maintenance once you do that? To me, right now, our fields are looking pretty good. We have a landscaping company that's taking good care of them, and I think those ARPA funds should be used someplace else besides an irrigation system that comes out of a reservoir that could go dry at some point if we don't have enough water. Fortunately, right now we have lots of water. Can get clogged very easily. You don't know what's in that system, and then you're going to have to pay for all brand new pumps and everything else. So that would be my only other comment. Thank you.
Anyone else for public comment? Thought I had seen somebody else coming up, but, okay.
Of course, you know what I'm going to talk about. Dan Gentile, 269 Mount Hood Road. The reason why we spent that money for the fields is because, if you remember, everybody came to the council and our fields were in distraught and urgent need of repair, one twisted ankle away from a broken leg. So that's why that money was sent to take care of our fields. So that's what that's all about. And you know how I feel about unfunded mandates, guys. You always have a choice. I haven't read them all, but I stopped at 400. I don't even know how many there are now. But if they keep dumping these unfunded mandates, and I know we don't do them all, Brian. I mean, Mr. Superintendent, sorry. But you can't say you don't have a choice. Everybody on this board has a choice. You can say yes, you can say no. There's consequences to everything you say. You have a voice. You know what I mean? There's always consequences, but you're the adults in the room. Students are the product of what you do. If we keep spending money on unfunded mandates and paperwork, it takes away from student learning. And we know this. You talked about, I'm going to try and be at your cell phone thing, because that's another thing near and dear to my heart. When I sat on the Board of Ed, I think we sat there together, I tried to get rid of those, because almost got my head taken off when I mentioned it, because everybody has to have a cell phone and got to contact everybody immediately. But no, you don't, because it's a detriment to teaching of students. Once again, we have to be the adult in the room. We have to take care of the students, make them learn, come out of here with the ability to get a job, the ability to contribute to society. But if we keep saying I can't do anything, you're not being the adult in the room. I'll say it again. The hardest decision to make is the right one. So you may have to make a hard decision sometime. Take it on. I think if you said no to them, we don't do them all, I know you're gonna yell at me later, but these unfunded mandates are destroying the educational system, because I've seen it, it's on a downward fall. And it's not gonna get better. It's, when I started on Board of Ed, I think there was maybe 60 or 80, if that. Now we're over 400. I stopped counting because, most of the ones that I wrote, there's no penalty, but we have this fear of that they're gonna take our money away. The state of Connecticut takes our money away anyways, and you keep doing it. So, keep in mind, you always have a choice, because I heard when I'm sitting back there, we have to do it. We don't have a choice. Yes, you do. So that's what I'm going to leave the board. You always have a choice. Make the right decision. It's a hard one. Take the heat. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, anyone else for public comment? Okay. Moving on then. Item number 11, board liaison reports. Mr. Perugino?
I think the meeting's next week.
Actually, they moved the meeting to.
They moved it again?
Yeah, well, they moved it to a Wednesday, so I could only stay for the first 15 minutes. But I do know the book fair is this week. Conferences are next week. On March 23rd, there is a pasta dinner fundraiser for the food pantry, but I'm sorry, I don't have any actual details on that. And then on March 27th, there is a 5th grade paint night for 5th grade students, like a celebration for their families can paint with their 5th grade students. So those are some upcoming events.
All right. Update on Plymouth Center School. Do you have anything, Mr. Zabushka?
Oh, yeah, definitely. For Plymouth Center School, bingo night was a huge success. It took 40 minutes to get everybody in and seated. They brought extra tables, extra chairs in, and there was no more room. They had to turn people away.
Wow.
But thanks to the parents and everybody who came, it was a huge success. There's a book fair going on March 15th through the 22nd. It'll also take place during parent conferences at night and during the day. And the yearbook pre-sale ends on March 31st. So if you want to get a break on the yearbook, you have to get money in, or order a yearbook before that. I'm impressed with how the Plymouth Center PTA works. They're extremely involved, and it's incredible what they're doing. Bringing different people in and everything like that. It's great.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, Eli Terry Junior Middle School, Mrs. Florenciani.
The internet safety course was already touched upon, but that's going to be on the 19th at 6 o'clock. And again, everyone is welcome to come to that. I went to the student versus staff game. That was a really, really good game. Like, the staff are falling, the kids are having a great time. It was like some of our staff like really did a good job, like playing basketball. I wouldn't be able to run back and forth like that.
Mm-hmm.
IGA Roundup is next week, the 17th to the 24th for the middle school PTA. And Grit and Wit is coming up on the 16th, so pay attention to emails for more information on that.
Okay. And Terryville High School, Ms. Tilton, do you have anything for Terryville High School?
Yeah, I can't go to that until my semester is
Yep,
over. So
that's right. I
maybe-
remember you
maybe
saying
then.
that. You're right. I was looking back in my emails. You might have seen me on my phone. I was looking back in my emails to try to at least see the agenda to see what they had been talking about, but I couldn't find it quickly enough. But as always, I'll do my little spiel for Terryville High School. The PTSA is mainly there to offer scholarships for our seniors, and the biggest event is our grad night, safe, secure grad night for all of our seniors to be able to attend after graduation. It's a fundraiser. If you see fundraisers for Terryville High School PTSA, please support them. The kids enjoy going to that. It's their one last hurrah before they're off to their own ways, and please support them. And finally, at Advance, I was not able to go to the meeting last time. Hopefully, I will have an update for you next month. Item number 12, board comments. Mr. Zabushka.
It was a nice presentation from the Career Center. Really nice.
I agree.
We appreciated it.
Mr. Perugino?
Yeah, that was a great presentation. there were some very good schools represented. Rensselaer was top school. I have two sister-in-laws and a brother-in-law that went to that pharmacy school, Massachusetts College of Pharmacy. It's a 7-year course now, I believe.
Yeah.
Might as well be a doctor,
Mhm.
you know? It's great. The other thing I just want to say is I want to thank the principals. Last month I had asked for information, you know, if we get more information what's going on at the schools, and now I do get it through the computer, which is great. You know, and I heard about the bingo. I was out of town. I know there's a pasta dinner going on now. So that's great. We can do that. And the other thing I just want to say is I want to thank Matt and the staff here. You know, I tail along with him on going through the schools and all that. There's an awful lot to learn. And, you know, and people say, you know, your budget's big, but, you know, just take a look at what we had to did tonight. $338,000. And that's just trying to keep these buildings up. We have 4 buildings. We have largest payroll in town. You know, and if you don't fix the hot water heater, you're gonna have a mess over there. If you don't do the HVAC system, you're gonna have mold. So, you know, very fortunately, when we went to the Board of Finance, they were very, very cooperative. They understood what we had to do. I was shocked when I went to the auditorium down here with Mr. Tenza and our janitor and finds out that the lights don't work and the sockets are no longer available. You know, and stuff like that costs money. It's just amazing. You know, like you say, $51,000. You shake your head and you say, wow, you know. But that's where the money goes, folks, and we got to keep these buildings up. So, you know, support our budget. That's all I can ask everybody to do. Please support us. Thank you.
Mrs. Florenciani.
Thank you for the gifts, and thank you to the students that came tonight and letting us know how their programs are working.
Thanks. Mr. Showers?
It was a great presentation. It's great to see the enthusiasm the kids have. It's something like I was involved in something like that when I was in high school. And it's great to see it being carried on. And let's see, thank you for the gifts. It's appreciated.
Ms. Stilton?
Yes, as the parent of a soon-to-be junior, it's nice to know that hopefully somebody has the ability to motivate him to do something valuable with his life. So I love that there was such a diversity of different careers. Everyone wasn't pigeonholed into you must go to college, and you know some of the trades were represented. So I appreciate the counselor making sure to connect with the kids and what's best for them. I want to thank the community for their continued support, and thank you for the gifts, and hoping to see a good turnout tomorrow while we present our budget.
Thank you. Mr. Flip?
I'd like to thank you for the gifts when they turned the heat off and you're that blanket. I thought it was a wonderful presentation, and I think back to my day in high school, we didn't even have guidance counselors. We had an advisor, and Miss Novak. So let's remember. That was it. I mean, look what we're doing today. You look at them, and it's why we're here tonight, I think.
I know it's been said many times, but I also want to say that I really, really appreciate that presentation. It's so nice to see our Career Center coming back to life after, it's nice to see it coming back to life. It's nice to see the students having meaningful conversations and experiences, and knowing that they are following direction, they're following their own lead, yet also, you know, researching and making sure that they understand. It's a big decision to make for a 17 or an 18-year-old child, what they want to do for the rest of their life. And sometimes that can be overwhelming. So it's nice to have adults in their life that can help shape that for them. I also want to thank all of the public who came tonight, whether you commented or not. We really appreciate having people here, people who support us, people who question us, people who take us to task. We appreciate it all. We want to hear from all of you. To speak on one topic that came up tonight at public comment, this board has expressed support for the idea of universal pre-K. Whether or not we will get there is another problem that we may have to overcome. It is something that we all see the importance of. We all know that universal pre-K is something that is going to be coming, and it's very important for all of our children to have those experiences and not have to worry about where they go, when they're going, or anything like that. So it is something that is held near and dear to our heart, and we are, looking at ways that we can offer that at this time. We've had people talk about our budget and how expensive things are. That would be another very big expense. So it is something that we want to do. It is something that we know is the right thing to do. We just are still working out the ways in which we can do that. So just so you know that it is something that we take seriously. And that being said, our next board meeting, the next regular meeting of the Plymouth Board of Education is on Wednesday, April 17th at 7 p.m. right here in the cafeteria. And I would like to entertain a motion to adjourn at 8:11
So
p.m.
moved.
That was Mr. Foote.
Nope.
Second, Cindy. Oh, Mr. Showers. Mr. Showers. And then Mr. Foote second. Okay, got it. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you very much, everyone.
Yeah, tomorrow morning.